Alright, I'm back. And although I did not stream yesterday, like I said, I might have, nevertheless though, I was right. I'm getting pretty bored of drawing Knuckles over and over again. Don't get me wrong, I got burnt out as well when I was streaming Fallout New Vegas, but the difference between that and the drawing streams is I don't enjoy drawing, so therefore I'm less willing to continue pushing myself to do the drawing streams. So I'm just going to take a little break and just play some Max Payne instead. Anyways, enough of that. Let's just go ahead and get started. I don't think I'll be doing it. I'm going to do an hour-long stream of this gameplay, much like the drawing streams and the Fallout New Vegas streams, just because I did not do this yesterday during my day off. So there's that, but also I don't think this game can be completed within 68 hours, especially when you're playing it on a really difficult, high difficulty. Anyways, gonna go ahead and start a new game. And arrival. Oop.
Stand by. 1010, investigated reported disturbance at Acer Plaza.
10-4 dispatcher, verify address.
Sorry, I forgot to take this off. There we go.
It's Acer Plaza. Repeat, Acer Plaza.
Shots fired on the rooftop. An assault in progress at Acer Plaza. Repeat, an assault in progress. It's a war zone down here. 1085 dispatcher, need additional units. Additional units now. Officer in danger. Officer in danger.
10-5, please repeat. 10-5, all units, emergency. Officer in danger, Acer Plaza. Repeat, Acer Plaza, all units.
They were all dead. The final gunshot was an exclamation mark to everything that had led to this point. I released my finger from the trigger, and then it was over. To make any kind of sense of it, I need to go back 3 years. Back to the night the pain started. I was still on the force back then. NYPD, Manhattan, Midtown North Precinct, Hell's Kitchen.
So when are you coming to work for me, Detective Payne?
You'd make me work undercover in some hellhole. Sorry, Alex. Michelle and the baby come first. See? My last smoke. It's bad for the baby.
That's you, Max. A regular Boy Scout.
See, Alex?
Still on for poker Thursday night, right?
Like taking candy from a baby. Life was good. Sun setting on a sweet summer's day. Smell of freshly mowed lawns. The sounds of children playing. A house across the river on the Jersey side. Beautiful wife and a baby girl. The American dream come true. Honey, I'm home. But dreams have a nasty habit of going bad when you're not looking. The sun went down with practiced bravado. Twilight crawled across the sky, laden with foreboding. Michelle, honey, anybody home? I didn't like the way the show started. They'd give me the best seat in the house, front row center. What the hell? Something ugly had been tattooed on the wall. a map of things to come. It was a poison syringe, a magic tag full of diabolical meanings. Listen, someone's broken into my house. Call 911.
Is this the Payne residence?
Yes, someone's broken into my house. They're still here. You have to...
Good. I'm afraid I cannot help you.
Who is this? Hello?
Michelle! Michelle! Freeze! NYPD, drop it!
Coming! Let it die!
No, please, God, no.
The flesh of fallen angels.
No, God,
Such a douche.
Michelle. Oh, baby.
That was 3 years ago. Everything ripped apart in a New York minute. The killer junkies had been high on a previously unknown designer drug, Valkyr, V. After the funeral, I told Alex I'd be transferring to the DEA. It took us 3 long years to get a break in the Valkyr case. Then, finally, 2 months ago, a dime dropper tipped us off that Jack Lupino, a mob boss in the Punchinello crime family, was trafficking. I went undercover, infiltrated the worst mafia family in New York. I came in from the cold and the dark. Outside the city was a cruel monster. I've been slowly working my way from the small time to the big fish, trying to get to the source of the drug. Alex and BB were my only contacts in the DEA, the only ones in this decrepit city who knew I was down here.
BB here. Something urgent has come up with Jack Lupino. You need to meet with Alex immediately at the Roscoe Street station.
I hadn't had a face-to-face with Alex since I'd gone undercover. Outside, the mercury was falling fast. It was colder than the devil's heart, raining ice pitchforks as if the heavens were ready to fall. Everyone was running for shelter like there was no tomorrow. It didn't get any better when I got to the subway. The feeling hit me like a point-blank shot straight in the face. Something was not right about this. My Beretta stirred nervously under my coat, but the train doors had already shut behind me, and I was in for the ride. Next stop, Roscoe Street Station, and Alex. The station was drenched in gloom. Alex was a ghost, nowhere to be seen. I'd have to look for him. Death was in the air at Roscoe Street. I'd have to find Alex fast. The pills would ease the pain.
Wasn't Jake supposed to take care of this?
He and Mickey are having too much. Hold it! Ah!
something I want to show off is a cool trick in the original Max Payne. This does, as far as I know, this does not work in Max Payne 3, and it definitely does not work in Max Payne 2. They removed this trick in Max Payne 2. But essentially, if you wanted to, okay, let me just explain what it does. So side rolling and back rolling. You wouldn't think that this would be any better than shoot dodging, right? Like this. But in this game anyways, side rolling and back rolling are much better than shoot dodging, because when you're rolling on the ground in general, time slows down as if you're shoot dodging, or as if you activated bullet time. However, this does not consume bullet time. So basically, once this rolling animation ends, time will go back to regular speed, in real-time speed, I should say. But you'll be in a much better position, and while the enemies have slowed down, you have kept moving at the same regular speed, right? Or Max anyways has been. So you're in a much better position. And essentially, if you keep this pattern of dodge, shoot, roll, I should say, roll, shoot, then the enemies can pretty much never shoot you, ever, no matter how many there are. Of course, if you're in a bad position where you're surrounded by several enemies at the same time, then it can be tricky, but generally speaking, if you can just kind of roll around them, a whole group of enemies, yeah, I mean, they'll either shoot at each other or shoot into the air. They're not going to be able to hit you. I'll demonstrate that as the game goes on. Oops. That's if you don't jump like I do. It can be tricky sometimes, because if you press forward at all, yeah, if you press forward at all, even if you're moving to the side, if you jump while pressing forward, you'll just jump like in this diagonal fashion, and it won't work. So it's pretty easy to mess up, but it's definitely worth learning to do. See how I just shot way over there at that corner? If you were just moving at regular speed, right? Or if you didn't, basically if you weren't shoot dodging or using bullet time, he'd shoot you as soon as you walk around this corner. But because I was rolling out, he basically wasn't able to react fast enough to shoot me. There should be a cutscene that plays here. I guess not.
Hey, yeah.
Oops. I messed that up badly.
Death was in the air at Roscoe Street. I'd have to find Alex fast.
Okay. Since I'm playing on Dead on Arrival, I only get 6 quick saves per chapter. So therefore, you won't be seeing me quick save a whole lot, even though I probably should have at that point. But yeah, that's my bad.
Pills would hold the pain back for a while.
Wasn't Jake supposed to take care of this? Hey.
And if you combine it with bullet time, then you just become nearly untouchable. But as I said, it can be a little tricky sometimes, depending on the map. See, he did it again. you miss by quite a lot. It just helps a lot because bullet time in the original game regenerates very slowly. And on top of that, shoot dodging uses up big chunks of bullet time. And when you kill enemies in the original game, you don't get a whole lot of bullet time rewarded to you, regardless of the difficulty you play. So, it's just a good idea to play the game like this. Otherwise, you'll just struggle, especially when you're going against the bosses, quote-unquote bosses. So you guys can see, okay, that's actually 7 quick saves, but you get what I mean. Well, he had his back turned towards me, so that ended up working in my favor anyways.
Did you hear something?
Nah, take it easy.
Yo!
See what I mean? They'll just shoot each other. Oops, I did not see that guy behind me.
Hey, yeah! Oh. No way. Come on. Hey!
Oops. There's another trick I want to show off when it comes to shotguns. Well, pump action shotguns. So with pump action shotguns in this game, and again, I don't think this exists in any other Max Payne game, either 2 or 3. There's a little delay with each shot of the pump action shotgun. So every time you take a shot, there's like a half a second delay before the shotgun shell pellets will actually fly out of the gun. And this is helpful because what you can actually do is pre-fire with the shotgun. So essentially, you can do this. Oops, sorry, that was bad. That was also bad. Oh. And essentially, you could just do something like that, where you can pre-fire. It's a little easier when you're using bullet time. You'll be using it a lot when you're using bullet time, but this trick helps a lot because you can peek around corners, right, and immediately fire the enemy around the corner. They won't have any time to react at all, and by the time they start shooting, they already will be dead or stun locked.
While looking for Alex, they had ended up in the middle of a big-time crime operation.
But as I said, I'll show more of these tricks as the game progresses.
Hitting Roscoe Bank ain't easy.
Come on. Really? The gate was eating up my shotgun shells. I'm not gonna do that again.
What the?
But yeah, pre-firing, rolling, and just using regular bullet time and not shoot dodging is gonna really help you get through the hard difficulties.
What the?
Automatic weapons are also really good. The only real semi-automatic weapon worth using is the pump-action shotgun. That's just because, one, there's 7 shells in the pump-action shotgun, and you can reload it as you're shooting with it.
Looking for Alex, they had ended up in the middle of a
So it's just good
crime operation.
ammo management. But also, the pump-action shotgun has a decent amount of range to it. You could fire against enemies probably from this column here to that end of to that wall over there. I'm not joking. Like this. In fact, I'm just gonna shoot right here. You see that? That's how far the shells can fly. Now, granted, it's not gonna do a whole lot of damage, but if you aim around the top of the chest, you can get some. You can get a decent number of headshots with this thing.
You saved me, man.
What's going on here?
A massacre. These armed thugs just appeared from nowhere. We need to get help. I can make the call from the control room 1 floor up. Can you take me there?
Sure. Sounds good. Follow me.
Go ahead and quick save. Quick saving is also a good idea, but obviously when you're limited with the number of quick saves you have, you pretty much try to go as far as you can without, you know, using them up. And then when you die, you'll realize, okay, so that's how far I can go. And then just quick save when you get to that point.
Hey, get out!
Whoops. I expected them to be here. Painkillers in the original Max Payne are not as plentiful as Max Payne 2. So, definitely don't want to waste those.
I stop!
Another thing too you want to do is, if you are going to be moving towards the enemies, you want to line them up. You want to align them, right? So that one guy is right behind another dude, so that when you're shooting the guy in front of the other guy, he's getting stun locked, and the guy behind him, if he tries to shoot you as Max Payne, shoot you as the player anyways, he'll just end up shooting his own teammate or ally, friend, whatever. That damage adds up. It really does help a lot. And AI in this game is not really that smart, so they'll fall for stuff like that.
The train lit up like a Christmas tree. The power was back on.
With the third-person camera this game has, you want to abuse that. So right before you go around the corner, you want to, yeah, rotate the camera so that you can see what's around the corner. Again, it just prevents you from getting just shot surprisingly, or getting taken by surprise. Ooh, that was close. I was about to jump in there. I think I'm supposed to go back here. No. No, I went too far. But yeah, you just want to micromanage bullet time meter, painkillers, of course, and ammo and your best weapons. So that's going to be your pump action shotgun, your Ingrams or submachine guns, and any other automatic weapons you can get your hands on. There we go.
So much for being subtle.
Let me quick save again. Yeah, I messed that up. This is when the Desert Eagle and other more accurate firearms from a distance will come in handy. Just weapons that'll kill a lot faster. Something else too to keep in mind is that when you're reloading and you side roll, shoot, dodge, or jump, it interrupts the reloading animation. Oops. Right, so side rolling, jumping, and shoot dodging when you're in the middle of reloading will interrupt the reloading animation and unfortunately restart it. So every time, I'll just demonstrate here. So you notice that Max is still replacing the clip every time he gets back up. So while side rolling is good, right, really good, it's now overpowered. Now just gonna automatically be able to continue shooting without stopping. Again, it's just a balancing act of shoot, side roll, reload.
The rusty door led to an abandoned part of the station, closed off since the early 40s. Something big was going down at Roscoe Street. Maybe that's why Alex had wanted to meet me here. Maybe not. One way or the other, I was gonna find out.
I was about to demonstrate here the pre-firing with the pump action shotgun, but as you can see, it's been a while since I played this. Okay, that was a much better example of that. So as I was going through the doorway, I fired, and by the time Max's head and the rifle got past the doorway, the shotgun shell pellets launched and, you know, killed the dude. I'll demonstrate again. That was terrible. Oops. That was terrible. I'm out of practice, but it once you get better at it, you can pretty much never lose a fight around corners like that. Man, that was terrible. Yeah, that was just bad. Man. As I said, these tricks are not easy to pull off. You pretty much get better at it as you play through the game, but I mean, it's pretty obvious that you have to get good at it, otherwise it won't work. None of these tricks will work. But it does definitely make the game a lot easier. Especially on these higher difficulties. Oh. See, that was a much better example there. So.
The door had been welded shut ages ago and the bomb was missing a detonator.
Hey, yeah.
Something to keep in mind is that when you kill an enemy in this game, unfortunately, their bodies, as they're going through their dying animation, where they're, you know, flipping to the ground or falling to their knees or whatever, their bodies can still block your bullets. So if an enemy is behind them, as the enemy you just killed in front of them, sorry, if one enemy is in front of the other and you kill the enemy that's in the front, and as they're falling down you still continue to shoot in that same direction, the guy behind them is not going to receive most of the bullets. They're not going to anyways, because the guy in the front that's dead, his dead body is absorbing all the bullets. So it's a little ludicrous, but I mean, it makes sense. It's just unfortunate. The pump action shotgun also deals a good amount of damage. Like any shotgun should anyways. Once you have an enemy stun locked, you don't have to keep bullet time on to finish them off. If you play the game as much as I have, you'll know how many enemies are going to be in an area generally. And so when you're finishing off the last enemy, it's a good idea to turn bullet time off.
Hold it.
That was dumb. That was really dumb of me.
What the hell was that? Hold on here. Give me the detonator. Whack!
The door had been welded shut ages ago and the bomb was missing a detonator.
What the? Okay, fellas. The police are on their way. New York's finest. They're gonna be here soon. So stick to the... Put 'em down!
If enemies are using Berettas, I mean, these early enemies anyways will be, but if enemies are using Berettas essentially are, they're pretty bad when it comes to accuracy. Oops. Let's see if I can show it off here. So as you can see, the actually that's better. Let me just do it with one. I'm trying to show off a good example of this. Here we go. So as you can see, the bullet spread is pretty bad the further away you get with the Berettas. And if enemies are using Berettas against you, that's pretty suicidal of them, because they're not going to be able to hit you very easily if you just stay away from us. Stay at a good distance from them.
What the hell?
We come to you now live from the crime scene.
Who is this?
Right back at you.
This is Deputy Chief Jim Bravura from the NYPD. You are to cease your criminal activities and surrender immediately.
Sure thing, Jim. Me and the boys have been talking, and everyone's real sorry. They'll never do it again.
Who the hell is this?
Being placed at the scene of a bank robbery wouldn't have tipped the odds in my favor. The bank robber's score lay on the table. The bank robbers have been after Acer Corporation bonds. The Acer success story had recently been on every channel and on the cover of every magazine. The bank robbers had left their tools on the table. Judging by the detonators, the crooks had bought enough explosives to send Lady Liberty into orbit.
Is there anything else worth mentioning? Not really. If there's any other tips I have for playing this game on hard, down arrival, then I'll talk about it then. But as of right now, I think that's about it. There's not many more, this game's not complicated. There's no rocket jumping, no strafe hopping or anything like that. Just good old-fashioned linear combat. Just save.
Hold it! Max, Jesus, you almost gave me a heart attack. I nearly shot you.
Alex, I'm glad to see you.
What the hell's going on? There are more corpses here than at the city morgue.
It's an armed robbery, a tunnel job straight to the Roscoe Bank vault through the old station wall. Is this why? This is Lupino's gig?
This is Lupino's doing? Lupino's men? Really?
You sure know how to pick a place? Can you get through?
No, it's locked. We gotta get out of here. If it's Lupino, it's... Alex? Alex!
There was nothing I could do. He was dead. I could tell by the empty, accusing stare of his eyes.
See, I can hit them from all the way over here. And because it's a shotgun, that means as the shotgun pellets are spreading, they'll be able to hit a large group of enemies that's huddled together like that. Basically stun locking a huge amount of them, or a huge number of them. Really enough, I don't remember there. On harder difficulties, there should be less painkillers. But I might be thinking about Max Payne 2.
Let's get the hell out of here.
We'll be fine. Just
Yo, ice.
Oops. As I said, these tricks, it takes skill to use. They're not like something you could just abuse and spam. So. That was the other one, wasn't it? What? Hold on. Okay. Never mind. I guess I wasn't supposed to activate that.
Alex had kept me relatively sane for the past 3 years. Now I didn't know how I felt. Somehow he had stumbled upon something big and ended up stepping on Jack Lupino's toes. Lupino ran his racket of sex, drugs, and contract killings from a sleazy hotel in a slum block of tenements. The NYPD was closing in. I could hear the sirens. Their wail was a crescendo. Lupino thought he could get us by taking Alex out and leaving me to take the fall for it. All he had gotten was my attention. I went for the hotel first. It was a sad old thing with flickering lamps and faded colors, cheap mobster punks and tired-eyed prostitutes. I walked straight in, playing at Bogart, like I'd done 100 times before. The place was run by a couple of murdering mobsters with shark smiles. The Finito brothers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the pain in the butt. Pain to the max.
You're killing me. Did you make that up yourselves, or you get some wino downstairs to come up with it? Don't answer that. A rhetorical question. I got something for the boss. Lupino around?
That kind of depends on who's asking. A friend or a junk squad plan. Don't answer. It's one of them, how do you put it, rhetorical questions. Lupino ain't here, but he said bye.
Lupino wasn't in his cheap hotel. Instead, I ran into the Finito brothers. My cover had been blown, the door slammed shut behind me, and then I was dodging bullets like raindrops.
Pain in the butt. Ha ha! Pain to the max. Junk squad pig. Gotta take it to Marble City for you. Be first and line down. Bring it in.
That was terrible. Let me reload. There we go.
A letter on the desk caught my eye.
Bosses! Everything all right? Bosses!
I had met Lupino only once. The gangster ran all his rackets through his right-hand man, Vinny Gagniti. Gagniti was a high-strung whiner on the verge of breaking apart, like an overamped Energizer bunny. He had the brains to run the business, but he lacked the balls, always falling short, taking his frustration out on underage addicts and call girls.
The V deal goes down at your hotel. Jack's exact words, quote, "Vinny, you're in charge of this one," unquote. Rico Muerte's coming to see it through. Anything goes wrong and everybody's gonna get dead. Goes double for you. Treat this guy real good. Anything he wants, you give him. Don't screw this up or you're finito, finitos.
A V deal meant added security, locked doors, and lots of nervous thugs with itchy trigger fingers. I'd seen nothing coming in, but that didn't mean it hadn't been there. Rico Muerte was a regular Kaiser Soze, a spook story told to keep the apes in line. 313. The Finitos had scribbled Muerte's room number on the note's margin.
Joey, Virgilio, you're right in there? They're not answering. Call the others. Tell them to come quick. Okay, but we can't wait for them. We gotta go in now. Bosses, we're coming in.
There he is.
The dual Berettas are not bad. They're just, again, not good from a distance. The pump action shotgun is much better the further away you get. I mean, sorry. It's much better than the Berettas when it comes to mid-range combat, but if you want to pepper enemies up close, it's better just to use the dual Berettas.
Getting out was not going to be easy. The staircase was locked and the elevator had been busted for a decade or more.
But yeah, if you play this game well enough, you can get through a lot of gunfights without getting shot once. No joke.
Yeah, something's wrong with the bosses. Payne's there and they're not answering. Let's go already. Payne's gonna pay in spades.
Hold it.
I could have sworn that these exploded, but guess not. Weird. Okay.
Hey.
Previously on Lords and Ladies.
Lady Amelia, Marquis Valentine asks for an
What
audience.
the?
My lord?
And now, an all-new episode of Lords and Ladies, brought to you in part by Acer Corporation.
See how that guy... Yeah, this guy here was blocking my shots.
My lady, there is a matter of great...
At least he was blocking the shots from my right Beretta.
My lord, there is?
And I was shooting this guy.
My lady, there is indeed. From the very first moment we met, upon that distant forest path, there has been...
It's unfortunate. There's just nothing you can do about it besides just aim better.
But my lady, I must.
My lord, no. I forbid you. This cannot be. This must not be.
But why, my love, why?
My lord, it is too dreadful. Do not force me to speak the words.
My lady, I beg...
V-head junkies could go off without a warning. I had to be careful.
Yes, my lord, we should both be dead, for this shame is too great for the living. My lord, I am your long-lost sister.
There he is.
Where'd he go? It's like he couldn't make up his mind to go through these doorways. Do not use the sawed-off shotgun. It is not worth it. It's essentially a worse version of the pump-action shotgun in every way. Less range, less damage, and... Or maybe I'm thinking about Max Payne 2. I know in Max Payne 2, it's definitely the worst version of the pump-action shotgun.
careful. It might kick back. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Killer vending machine.
You talking to me?
Tough guy. Scared.
Gun him down. Whack him!
Oops.
Tonight, the city's fight against the nightmare drug Valkyr took a turn for the worse as DEA Special Agent Alex Balder was found brutally slain at the Roscoe Street subway station. A suspect was seen leaving the site only moments after the shots had been fired, and the NYPD is currently in pursuit of Max Payne, a repeated felon believed to be armed and extremely dangerous. And now the weather. The worst winter storm in recorded history continues to pound the city. Whatever steps necessary. Here stated that Valkyr represents the NYPD.
I understand that Max is supposed to be going undercover, but a little strange that he's accused of multiple felons. I mean, he technically did murder a bunch of people, but there were a lot of those people were, all those people I should say, were criminals, so. Yeah, automatic weapons, even semi-automatic weapons, they can dual wield, like Berettas and, or at least in Max Payne 2 anyways, Desert Eagles are, it's better to have automatic weapons than semi-automatic weapons. And that's just because you want to put as many bullets into the air as possible.
I'd found Muerte's room.
Oops. I normally don't let that kill me.
I'd found Muerte's room. Muerte had received a letter. Our investigation had turned up nothing to link Angelo Punchinello, the head of the Punchinello family, to Valkyr. All tracks had ended with Jack Lupino. The letter in Muerte's room was signed by the Don himself. It was the first hint that the Kingpin knew what was brewing inside his syndicate.
The trouble you got into after the Chicago screw-up. The Punchinello family bailed you out. You have been waiting for a chance to pay us back. One of our trusted boys has a monkey the size of King Kong on his back. And we need your special skills for backup on a major deal.
Collecting evidence had gotten old a few hundred bullets back. I was already so far past the point of no return, I couldn't even remember what it looked like when I had passed it.
Yo! Ice him! What the hell?
Told you. God damn! I thought it was a bomb for sure.
Nah, the Russian wouldn't dare. This has been waiting to happen.
I thought it was a bomb.
Hey!
I think I died. I think I'm dead.
The hooker had left her diary on the table. The diary belonged to a hooker named Candy Dawn. The read would have made a vice cop blush.
Had talks with the mystery hag over the phone again. Sent her the latest One-Eyed Alfred tape. As long as the hag keeps paying for the tapes, the old man could come every day for all I care.
She had a nice sideline, making secret X-rated flicks of her clients and selling them to the highest bidder. It would get her killed if her V-fix for the day didn't do it first.
I remember enemy walking in to one of these rooms, shooting me in the back, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yo!
It's him. Go get him. No, wait. You go get him. You go and get him.
What the?
The old service elevator rumbled down to the bowels of Jack Lupino's hotel.
It was freaking crazy.
A winter storm warning is in effect in the whole tri-state area, as both freezing rain and heavy snowfall continue. Many roadways are already closed, and people are advised to stay indoors. The severe blizzard has ravaged New York for 3 days now, with no end in sight.
We'd been snowed from the start in the Valkyr case. The forecast said there was plenty more where that had come from. But the snowbound city was on my side. Less chance of innocent bystanders getting caught in the crossfire.
Alright, that's gonna have to be it for today's stream. The hour mark is about to hit, so there's that. Might as well play this. There we go. Anyways, I'll pick this up in the next stream. And if I do somehow end up getting through the game in less than 5 to 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours in total, then what I'll do is I'll probably just go ahead and combine all of the gameplay footage into one big video and then upload it to my YouTube channel. That way anyone that wants to watch it doesn't have to watch it in segments. But this game is not exactly short, so, and again, I am playing this on Dead on Arrival, which means not only do the enemies deal more damage, which doesn't really matter that much when you use the tricks I explained earlier to survive gunfights, but enemies do have more health, and thus they take longer to take down. And while right now with these gangsters, they don't have as much health as they don't have a whole lot of health right now. Enemy later on in parts 2 and 3, the enemies in those parts will have armor and thus a lot more health. So they'll take a lot more bullets to take down, a lot more ammo. The good thing is that at the end of part 2, that's when the really good weapons get introduced, and therefore it still shouldn't take that long to take them down, so long as I conserve ammo, of course. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, enemies are really bullet spongy, and so are the bosses. It's just an unfortunate side effect of playing on hard difficulties in these games anyways. So, but anyways, once I'm done with Max Payne, I'll go back to the drawing streams. As I said, I just feel all burnt out from drawing Knuckles over and over again. But yeah, it's just a nice break. Anyways, it's gonna be it for this stream. Till next time, peace.